Well, Strong Black Superchemist. Where I'm doing, I think, part 6 or something like that. I don't know. But it's part of a playlist if you want to watch all the videos. The playlist is going to be called Wives, Marriage, Family, something like that, like with slashes in between. Just go to the playlist to have all the slashes. It says about marriage, wives, and family, and that'll be it. So anyways, we're talking about how the caveman, right? How the bad leader was a little wussy because he cared about his feelings more than facts. And the facts are that if you aren't if the man isn't healthy and strong, when a bear comes, your entire family and you are going to die. Okay? He gave all the food to the woman so that she was fed, so that she was happy, right? And all in return, the woman treated him like crap, even though she was treated like a queen. And then they all died. So now the bear, he's filled up because he just ate a whole entire family. So a couple weeks go by, and he goes upon this other cave that we were talking about that had the good leader, not a bad leader like the other cave, a good leader. This good leader would feed himself until he was full. His belly was just overfilled with food. And the wife came up and the kids tried to get some food. He smacked them. Ooh, get out of there. It's all my food first. And then, when he got done eating, he was full. His belly was bursting. Then the little kids and the wife came over and got what was left, if there was anything left. Okay? And the reason why it's not selfish is right here. Because when the bear comes, right? Because the bear killed the other thingy, because he was actually selfish because he didn't care about his family dying. What he cared about was the feelings that would be portrayed by his family towards him if he didn't feed them first, right? So he cared about that. He didn't care about his family's lives, though, because he was a piece of shit, right? But this guy over here in this cave, he made sure he had his belly full. And when the bear went to the first cave, remember, the man was all withered away from, only getting a half a meal a day for so long, so he couldn't find food. It was during the winter or whatever, you know what I mean? So now the bear comes to this one. Guess what? The man's fed. He's strong. He's not weak. He's not withered away. Yes, his wife and children, yeah, they're hungry as hell. But he's strong. He has a spear, and when the bear attacks, it's a big battle. And yeah, he almost dies. But eventually he gets the bear to fall on his spear, and the bear dies. Because, why? Because he was a good leader. Why did the woman love him and this woman that was treated like a queen didn't? Because this woman knew that things are great, but in the back of her mind, her biology is saying, this man's going to get me killed, and my kids and him. And that's why she treated him like crap. This woman was starving and watching her husband eat all the food first and only giving her half a meal a day, you know what I mean, or whatever. She's starving, and she still loves this man. Why? Because her biology, even though common sense would say, I hate this dude, he's starving me to death. Her biology made her love him because she knew he was doing it because, maybe not in her conscious mind, but her subconscious mind, she knew. Her biology was telling her, this man is doing it because he loves me. Because he knows that it might not be good for the woman when it comes to instant gratification, but in the long run, it's better for her because you've seen what happened to the first guy. First guy had his family killed because he didn't keep the food for him first. He did the selfish thing. People would say it the other way around. Until you heard what I just all said, we would all think that, this guy over here taking all the food first is the selfish one. And the other one giving all the food away to his wife, dwindling away so he can't protect anybody. He's the non-selfish one. But it's the other way around when you think about it. After I just told you all that, do you agree with me or society? Because I'm telling you, this guy eating all the food, he keeps his woman loves him, and his family don't die. And he's a good leader on top of it. So anyways, I've got a lot of time left. That's my spiel on the selfish and unselfish portion of this. showing that why women are selfish and why men are unselfish and giving and providing, and yet the women are always taking and wanting and being selfish. This is why. It's because it's nobody's fault. It's just biology. It's biology, so that we, even though we're opposites, we complement each other. That's why you can't have a giver without a taker. You know, it sounds like the taker is a horrible person, but this guy likes to give because he's a giver. That's why this story that we've been fed, this bull crap about how horrible men are. No. If men were horrible and selfish in the way they talk about men, the human species wouldn't have survived till today. If we weren't sharing with the women, if we weren't giving to the women, if we weren't protecting the women, if we weren't, you know what I mean? All the women would be dead. And then our species would die, okay? But that didn't happen. See how it was a lie? It was all a lie. The opposite is actually true. And everyone knew it up until a couple of hundred years ago, or 100, until feminazis came and destroyed everything. So let's move on and see what else there is. It wasn't that women could not work, but why work if you don't have to? They had that privilege. That's the same way with this working crap, okay? Women were never told never to work. As a matter of fact, a lot of women worked. Some men had businesses and they worked in the business with them. It might be a doctor and the wife came and she was like the secretary, you know what I mean? / kind of a nurse, but not really a nurse. Or, he had a business and she might be working in there doing the books or something. Whatever. I don't know. I'm not going to say name 100 examples. But women did work, okay? And they were allowed to work. It's just you didn't want your woman to work because then you didn't feel like a man. You know what I mean? like that's your job to provide. And then if my job is to go out and kill an animal and feed you, and then I see you out there doing it, well, what the hell do you need me for? You know what I mean? What the hell, man? Yeah. But yeah, it wasn't that no one wanted to. Why would this thing where these women, these idiots? I don't understand that. Well, they're human, so that's why. But how do you talk someone into that work is like fun? It's like empowering. Hey, going out 50 hours a week and working for somebody else for piddly money compared to what the top guys get in that company. Yeah, that's fun. That's empowering. What kind of nut job? How do you talk someone into that? But anyways, yeah, they had the privilege to not work. That was a privilege to not work. And isn't there any common sense? You have women today saying it's a privilege to work. And then you have women back in the day, it's a privilege not to work. Which one sounds like a privilege? Like, you can either work or not work, but most people don't because it's work. And then over here you got to work. Otherwise you're oppressed. Unless you're working, you're oppressed. Oh my God. Okay, let's see what else it says. Yeah, that thing about working. Yeah, they could always work. Yeah, did they get paid less? Yes, they got paid less. And do you know why? Because families worked differently, okay, before today. And I didn't understand how families really worked. Like I see my kids and I'm like, when I grow old, I'm old, I'm decrepit and I can't take care of myself. In the olden days, they'd be like, well, at least I got my kids to help me out. I'll move in their house and they'll help me with bills so I don't, this or that. I always looked at that like, that is you are a horrible parent if you do that to your kids. Like, who wants to do that? Your last 5-10 years maybe, you move into your kid's house with his wife and kids, interfere, like cramping their style and their life and their world, so that they could take care of you. Like, they're the kid, you're the parent. Don't be such a selfish piece of garbage, you parent. Now, I see, though, that if you have an actual real family instead of the families that because we don't have families today. Yeah, I don't care if you say, oh, I had a mom and a dad and I grew up in a good family. No, that's not a family. That's a crap family. That's a cardboard box family, okay? That's a garbage, okay? What we have today is garbage, and what we think of family is not family. It's just garbage, okay? When you live in a good family, okay, which I wasn't in one, so that's why I look at my kids and I'm like, I ain't going to do this to you. You know, what kind of parent would do that? It's all about love, though. If you came from a good family and you had good parents, when you grow up, you actually want to take care of your mom and dad. You actually want to do that. You know, that's just like the woman. You know, they forced the woman to not work. They forced this. No one's forcing, man. Just like I thought, well, they're just forcing the kids to take care of them when they're older, the parents. You know, they're just forcing them. They're not forcing when you have a child and you're good to the child. Like my kids would never take care of me. I was a horrible parent. You know what I mean? And I neglected them. I was in a nut house for like a decade or something, or 5 years or whatever. But if I came from a good family when I was brought up, and then I had my kids, and I would do a good job for them then, right? When I was old, they wouldn't want to. They would want to do that. They would want to help me out. It's all about family. And when you have that kind of family, they want to do. It's not a burden, okay? But anyways, this thing about like the women can't. Yeah, they didn't get paid as much. That was because barely any women worked. And when you had a job, and you have a man who has a family that has to support him, and a woman that has no family, that doesn't have to support anyone, she's just going to work for fun, you're going to hire a man. You know what I mean? That's just common sense. And the same with the pay. Why would you pay the woman who's going to sooner, you know, she's 22 years old or something, and now she's working for your company. You know she's going to get married and quit, right? Because that's how they all did it back then. None of the women wanted to work because why would you want to work? Only a moron, a total moron, if it's a woman wants to go to work. Only a moron. I mean, even men, most men don't even want to go to work. Who wants to go to work and think of it as empowerment? Jeez, you got to be a moron. Well, now where am I at? I lost my train of thought or whatever. So anyways, I'll move on since I can't remember. But it's a privilege for them to not work. Oh yeah, see the daughter, it used to be that the daughter, when she was 18, stayed in the home until she got married. Even if she was 30 or something. You know, 40 years old, she'd be living at home and the dad would have to take care of her. You know what I mean? That's why the job, really, whether she got a job or not, the dad was always there. See, that's the thing. The woman has so much privilege in the past and today that no matter what she does, she always has a safety net. Whether it's her dad or brother, or some total stranger man, the government. There's just millions of things that keep her, like, so she has no accountability. She has no responsibility. She has no fear that, you know, she's going to end up on the streets living in a cardboard box. There's just too many people, too many organizations that will help her. Unlike a man. A man has none of that. But that's why women didn't get paid as much, because they didn't need the job. They were living at their parents' house. The dad was taking care of her until she got married, even if she was older than 18. Whereas the man has to go and has to pay for his family and that. That's why they got paid more too. They got paid more because they had a family. Because, yeah, companies actually cared a little bit more. They still didn't give that much crap. They gave a little bit of crap towards the family. And gave, you know, if you had a baby and you went and told your boss, they gave you a raise. Today, yeah, right. So, okay. So after this, I'm going to take a break. Start doing some more videos tomorrow. But I'll have a prosperous day. And always remember, the Only one true God is the Custafarian God. Have a great day.